Hello, hello, beautiful, blessed people. How are you? I hope all is well. If not, sending so much love your way. If you are new here, welcome to my Zen Wellness space. I am your Zen Wellness mama, Christine, and it is my pleasure to empower you to start and maintain your intuitive wellness journey. Here at this Zen Wellness space, I really, as the Zen Wellness Mama, try to give you all the tools and encouragement you need to start and maintain your wellness journey. And I do that by sharing a little bit of my experiences, which I will be doing today. So your girl is officially 34. My birthday was May 23rd, and I turned 34. Started my 34th trip around the sun, and it was a magical day. A magical day, full of magic, I'll say that. So my purpose of this video today is to come in and share a little bit about my 33rd trip around the sun. Sorry about that, my door is open, so I think it's a good omen. Some crows are saying, yeah, go ahead and share. So, okay, let me close the door 1 second. Okay, my cats are outside, but they should be good. So thank you, Spirit, for that message. So yeah, my goal today is to share what kind of has been going on and reflect on the 33rd birthday spread that I did on my 33rd birthday. And I have my journals and everything with me. I pulled this birthday spread on May 31st, 2021. So it's officially been a year. So I thought, as I was looking back on my notes, I said, let me come on camera and share my experience and share with my community how this birthday spread manifested, and I will be sharing the spread with you all as well. If you're interested, let me know, and if you want to do a reading with me, let me know as well, because that is something I do as well. So 33 was amazing for me. 33 in numerology is known as, your 33rd year is known as the spiritual teacher. So when I was thinking about my 33rd year, the first thing that came to mind was my mother. My mother told me that she felt like she was going to die at 33. So I lied to y'all, not y'all. Like, she prepped me. She was like, you have a younger brother. You got to take care of your younger brother. If something happened to me, you know, I just really feel like something's going to shift. I remember this vividly as a child, my mom like preparing me for if she had passed around her 33rd birthday. And so that's a reflection that I have of 33rd. But what I found out later is that her 33rd year was like a death and a rebirth for her. She, like, her old self kind of died and she emerged as a new self. And it's the Jesus year, right? So if you think about the story of Jesus, he died at 33 and he died to be born again, right? And I really do feel like that's the energy of the 33rd year. So in our 30s, or in our 30, like around the age 30, we go through our Saturn return. And the Saturn return is like us kind of creating our own structures. So from 0 to 30, you kind of, you know, we're listening to everybody else and the structures that everybody else had placed. But around your Saturn return, you really start to develop structures for yourself. And so what I've heard is your 33rd year is a consequence of what happened during your Saturn return. Because now you've had 3 years to really create and cultivate. Again, the number 3 is all about creation. You have your masculine, your feminine in order to create, your mom, your dad in order to create a baby, right? So blending some of those energies together in order to create something new. So that's kind of how I see the 33rd year, is is a death and rebirth. It's consequences from the structures that you have kind of created or found or dismantled during your Saturn return. And so I felt like for me, that's exactly what happened. Is I felt it was a spiritual teacher year for sure. And I received this phrase from Rebecca, my numerology mentor teacher. I learned so much from her, and I did a numerology reading, which I'll be sharing a little bit about later on. But she did mention 33rd year is your spiritual teacher year. 33 is a master number. It reduces down to the number 6, but it is a master number. Master numbers are 11, so 1, 1, 2, 2, 22, and 3, 3. 33 is the energy of, and I have this here in my numerology book. I'll be linking this down below if you want to check it out. But 33 is ruled by Venus. The in astrology, it equals to Taurus, Libra, Cancer, and Virgo. The crystals are sapphire, lapis lazuli, and quartz, rose quartz. The colors are royal blue and indigo. And the tarot representations are the Lovers, the number 6s, so that's the 6 of Wands, the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, the 6 of Swords, the Major Arcana, and the Devil. So again, 33 reduces down to 6. So we see that energy here with Venus. 6 is all about harmony, love, like coming together. So we see that with Venus show up, with the Libra, balancing those scales, right? Relationship, harmony. And so that's the energy around the number 33. Sorry, y'all. When I get into the mode, I start to get a little itchies, and that really lets me know that spirit is really channeling through me. So if you see me going like that, it's because I'm channeling, okay? But yeah, so my 33rd year was that death and rebirth. I feel like my Jesus year, my spiritual teacher year. Y'all, I learned so much spiritually wise. I really felt like it was my year. I dove deep into my human design. I dove deep into my astrology, all by myself though. I didn't outsource as much. Like I felt like my 30 to 32, I would say, I felt like I was really outsourcing. I was just really learning all of this stuff, really like, oh my gosh, opening my mind, you know, kind of breaking out of the paradigm, crushing limiting beliefs, really kind of breaking free from that. But my 33rd year was my time to integrate. Okay, so from what I've learned and from what I've studied, how can I really put this into practice? And by putting it to practice, my old me really did die on that cross. But my old me really did die on a metaphorical cross, whatever that cross meant for me. And yeah, so I feel like now as I'm 34, as I'm entering my 34th year, I know how to integrate, how to use these practices, like what I've learned from the books that I've read, from the journals that I kept, from all of my astrology books, crystal books, my meditation, aromatherapy books, all of my oracle cards, my oracle decks. Now I'm integrating those and seeing how they manifest now that the old kind of me has died out and I'm being born renewed. So that is really what the 33rd spiritual teacher year came to teach me, is how to integrate, how to come into harmony with some of those practices. Again, with the number 6 energy and that Venus, how to really fall in love with myself. 30th, and I'll go into the spread now. But 33 for me was all about releasing codependency, because I tend to fall in codependent relationships, or I tend to fall towards codependency. So it was really my time to teach myself and to integrate those practices. So let's get into this spread. So the 33rd year, May 23rd, 2021, I pulled this spread, and I pulled this spread using my energy oracle deck. So I did not use, I might have used tarot cards, but the major questions that I had for this spread, I pulled using my energy oracle deck because I wanted to get the energy of those cards. And then, oh yeah, I didn't. And so these were for the major three. So there were 6 questions. Surprise, surprise. There were 6 questions that were asked. Something last year that I needed to let go of, the upcoming year in my life, something new to look forward to, a new hobby or interest to explore, a major lesson I will need to learn this year, and how to be the best version of myself. So those were 6 questions that I asked, the major theme questions that I wanted to get the general energy around for my 33rd birthday. And then I went into, I don't think I have, I'll just use this. Then I went into my tarot deck with breaking down different aspects of my life within that year, which is family, friendship, romantic relationship, health, finances, career, and travel. I broke those down with tarot, but the major themes were with my energy oracle deck. So let's get into it. So number 1, the first question I asked is something last year that I needed to let go of. And the card that popped up for that was the Door of Value. And that card did show up in reverse. So when a card usually shows up in reverse, and for this deck actually comes with an amazing guidebook. I love, love, love this deck. But in the guidebook, it does have reversal meanings in it. So there's, you could see here, and an affirmation, which I love. And so what I did with these spreads, I intuitively lay them all out. I encourage you to do this as well. So if you do decide to do a solar return or birthday spread for yourself, before you go into the meanings of each card or any type of pull that you do, I always suggest that you lay them out. Tap into your intuition first before reading what the messages have to say. And don't get me wrong, your girl is one who more than likely will read the messages, but I will tune into my messages first. I love guidebooks. I love reading the guidebooks and the messages that are associated from the cards that were channeled from the developer of the cards. But first and foremost, I always check in with my intuition first. Most of the time, a lot of the times it's the same message, but shows up differently, right? So the Door of Value, for something last year that I needed to let go of, the Door of Value came up in reverse. And the Door of Value is all about new beginnings in finances and career. And that's what I needed to let go of. And y'all, in 2021 is when I received my promotion for my job. So letting that old position go and the old narratives that came with that old position, because I've talked about this in my other videos. If you want to check that out, I believe it's my eclipse video where it talks about the Scorpio, my 4th and 10th house kind of access. So check that out. It's on my channel if you want to see kind of what happened with my career and things of that nature. But yeah, it's really letting go of that energy. Like now I'm in a new place. I'm in a new position. I really have been in this position for a couple of months now. So really letting go of the old narratives and paradigms that came up with that position last year. So that's what I wanted to let go of. And for each of these, I created an affirmation around. And so, yeah, within this last year, within my 33rd year, I not only received a promotion, but I received several raises and several bonuses. So the Door of Value went from depletion, where I was in my previous years prior to 33, to overflow and abundance. And I thank God for that. And the affirmation that I said is, my life is open to endless possibilities of prosperity, bringing me ultimate wealth. The river of abundance flows freely through my doors. So that's the affirmation I said. And again, with these affirmations, as I'm speaking these affirmations on my 33rd year, I was affirming this. I believe that it will happen. I was manifesting it. So really, really highly suggest that when you do these cards, that you do an affirmation that you see daily, that you recite daily. manifestation, baby. I know it's a hot word, but again, energy, right? Energy, energy, energy. Having that energy flow to you. So the next card that popped up in this spread is the upcoming year in my life. And the card that popped up for that was the Door of Romance, new beginnings in love. And that's exactly what happened. My husband and I, just thinking about my immediate love romantic relationship, is my husband and I. My husband and I, we have gone leaps and bounds. Our relationship, I think, is, I wouldn't say better, because you know what's better, but it's so much deeper, so much fuller, so much richer than it was in the beginning when we first got together. I mean, obviously we've gone through life together. We've gone through our Saturn returns together. We've been together almost a decade. So after this decade, the door of romance has opened up in a way, in such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way that I can't even describe here, but I'll let y'all know it's beautiful. And shout out to my marriage coach, Imani, who helped me with that. I'll make sure that I link her information below. If you guys are in a relationship and married and you want some coaching, I highly recommend her, because she really had a lot to do with that door of romance opening up. And the affirmation that I set for that is, as I honor the door to my own self-love, right? Because self-love, we can't receive others if we don't love ourselves, right? So as I open the door to my own self-love, I attract more and more loving tenderness to me. So as I was loving up on myself, I was opening up the door for others to love me as I truly am. Third question, something new to look forward to. And that was the personal healing and happiness. And sure, that was what I had to look forward to. That definitely came up for me in my 33rd year, the door of personal healing and happiness. So interesting enough, the first 3 cards were all doors. So it was like Spirit was telling me, yo, you are opening up the doors in the beginning of your year. You are opening up the doors in this 33rd year. The 33rd year is the beginning of a new cycle for you, of a new transformation for you. So all these doors are opening: the door of value, the door of romance, the door of personal healing and happiness. This means new beginnings in my personal life. And boy, did that happen. Again, the career shift, my marriage, really just like all the things. And what my note that I put here is new beginnings and seeing the power in myself. I really saw, and that led me to my personal healing and happiness, is regaining my power and taking my power back and being embodying the Zen Wellness Mama archetype. And what that means, if I want to empower other people, I got to have the power myself. I need to know how to harness and use that power to the greatest good for all, first and foremost, and for myself, right? So that was the door that opened for me. The door of personal healing and happiness was getting my power back, was regaining my power, knowing how to use that power. So that was the energy for me. Sorry, my cats are like on the balcony going crazy. I locked them out, but and what else? So the affirmation that I said for that was, I am strong, focused, and self-directed. I have the power to create a wonderful new realities in my life. The fourth one, new hobbies or interests to explore. The angel of love in reverse showed up for this card, and it's all about tender connections. And the angel of love in reverse was really telling me to love up on my younger child. That's the energy that I was getting. And so the new interest or hobby to explore that actually came up, talking about my inner child, is skating. I got into skating, y'all. I'm hopefully going to be going back this summer, this Thursday, because like there's a Thursday night skate in my local area, and that has brought me so much joy. Y'all, last year was hard. You know, we saw things at the border with Haiti, like so much mental things going on and still continuing to go on. But one thing that I love to do is skate. Getting onto my skates and seeing the skyline at night, the Seattle skyline by the water is, just connecting with my child, listening to music, skating. That is the new hobby that I explored. So the affirmation is, tender, loving treatment comes to me in wonderful and unexpected ways. That was an unexpected way that skating popped up. I met somebody that I met at an online training, and she told me that she skated on Thursdays, and I was like, I used to love skating back in the day. She invited me over. The rest is history. I went every Thursday since then, and so that was something that came to me in an unexpected way. Again, that's the affirmation that I wrote, not even knowing what would come up and how skating would explore. But again, I opened that energy to allow it to flow into me. So the important lesson I will learn this year is caring connections, which is friendship, partnerships, possibly of love, tender, loving connections. So the important lesson that I had to learn this year was reciprocity in relationships. I realized that I was giving so much out to everybody. I was exuding my energy, exuding my light, trying to help people that didn't really want to help, but I saw the light in them. So I was persistent, and I constantly tried, but I was getting nothing back in return. So that was the hard lesson that I needed to learn this year, to cut some of those ties, to cut some of those cords, to cut some of those friendships, to cut some of those relationships that wasn't feeding back to me, that was only depleting me. So that was a hard lesson that I had to learn this year around caring connections. Was that how important reciprocity was and releasing from codependent, because with these people, I was codependent. I felt like, I needed to talk to them every day. I needed to, see what they were doing, see how I can help them, ask for advice. No, I am a sovereign being. I have the intuitions in my gut. I have the answers I need in my gut. Of course, not saying that I don't have friends, but they're all intentional. I heard somebody said that I am not interested in any relationship that is not mutually beneficial, period. Okay. So even somebody, on the street can benefit me in a way that other people that are in my life that are constantly depleting me. A simple thank you from somebody that I gifted something on the street is something that's in reciprocity to me, something that's, coming back to me. But constantly giving out energy without nothing in return, it just wasn't. So that's a hard lesson that I had to learn last year. And the affirmation that I set for myself was, I open my heart and life to true caring connections. The ideal friendship and partnerships are coming to me now. The ideal. So again, I set that intention in the beginning of the ideal partnerships, and those popped up. The most beautiful friendships I received have happened. And that feedback to me have happened since I let go of some of those other ones, and I allow the ideal friendships and partnerships to flow to me. So the last one is, how can I be the best version of myself this year? And that card that popped up for that was strategy. Make a plan. Y'all, your girl is a Gemini, okay? I'm an air sign. I'm an MG. I flow. I'm constantly on the move. I'm here. I'm there. I ain't got no plans, okay? I'm grounded in earth, Virgo, moon, and rising, and I'm flowing in the air, right? I'm flowing like air. Plans, not so much. I don't do the best of plans. But if I, have a grounding practice like Notion, I have a ritual, all of those help me strategize a plan. So using my Notion, doing my rising check-ins, my astrological weather, my rituals, my, all of that. Those are strategies that help me get into, but I'm still working on, y'all. I'm a work in progress, okay? I'm a work in progress. I think this will always be something that I will be working on, is my strategy and plan, but that's how I can be the best version of myself. And the affirmation that I set for that, I am flexible, because y'all, like, I gotta be flexible with my plans, okay? I'm a Gemini. I'm an air sign. I gotta be flexible. I am flexible and persistent and prepared, though. Okay? I can not only be flexible, I need to be persistent and prepared. So again, repeating that. And at the bottom of the deck was the root chakra, Archangel Michael, which is all about stability and security. And the affirmation is, my root chakra is open and is perfect health, and I am strong, stable, safe, and secure. The Archangel Michael guides and supports me along the way. And how beautiful here, I actually, root chakra was definitely something that I worked on during my third year. A lot of ancestral work, a lot of womb work, a lot of root chakra work. 30 year was all about the root chakra to me. And I have a few of my paintings here around the root chakra. I painted those, so that's another way that I express myself through my art. That's one way that I'm kind of getting back into, that I've explored in my 33rd year, of how therapeutic and healing art is to me. Y'all can see I ain't perfect in it, okay? I'm not the best artist, but it's such a healing practice for me. So while I've been doing my chakra work, I found that I love doing my chakra work through painting and art. And let's see. Okay, so now let's go through the tarot and see the aspects of my life, different aspects of my life that was found through the tarot. And the first one is family. And the card that popped up was for family was the Nine of Pentacles reversed. So this tells me, and the notes that I wrote here is, in work, over underestimated hustle, increased self-worth, you are enough, enjoy the fruits of your labor, spend more time with family, and try to reduce my hours, and treat yourself. And so those are the kind of things that I wrote around family. So Nine of Pentacles was really telling me, Nine of Pentacles in reverse was really telling me to focus on my family. Like, you've done the work, you've done hard structure, but you need to learn how to let it go. Learn how to let it go, to do its thing, to let it rest. You put in all the hard work. You've done the hard work. You've done all the labor. Let it go. Enjoy your time with your family. So that's what the Nine of Pentacles was really telling me about to do. When work is done, leave work to the side. Do not take it with you into your family life. And that's definitely something that I try to integrate last year. Friendships, Six of Wands, success, public recognition, progress, self-confidence, milestones to reach. Now is your time to shine. Don't let the fear of success make you feel guilty. So a lot of the times I held myself back because I hate to feel like I'm better than somebody else, or I'm doing more work than somebody else. A lot of the time tend to play small so that I was on the same level as a lot of people. And I hate to use those words. I'm trying to figure out better language, better verbiage to kind of articulate what I'm trying to say. But I think y'all know what I'm trying to say, is I never really wanted to be like, you know, higher than anybody else. So I would dim my light so that I wouldn't outshine anybody else. So in the friendships, the Nine of Wands is all about success. You know, that person's on the horse or whatever. However, the Six of Wands is shown in your card, but it's all about victory and getting praise for it, right? So that's shining and not being afraid to shine, not being afraid to dim my light. In my friendships too. So sharing my experiences in my friendships and not being scared to share what has come up for me and to share how I have been victorious. Because if I feel like I can't share that, are you a real friend? Are you going to celebrate me, or are you going to side-eye me and, you know, like judge me for what I'm doing? I just don't have time for that. Again, reciprocity, right? I don't got time for anything that's not mutually beneficial. So romantic relationship, the Page of Wands. So self-limiting beliefs, turning into action, turning something into action, feeling something new, redefining a path, and staying aligned with goals. So in my romantic relationship. So redefining, that's the Page of Wands in reverse. So redefining what it means to be married. None of us came from a household where there was a marriage. So really defining, again, that page energy, going in with new, excuse me. Energy is moving, y'all. Energy is moving, okay? So redefining for ourselves, going in head first and exploring with passion, Page of Wands, what's new in our relationships, what do we want for our relationship, new goals that we can set for ourselves, new things that we can do. Goodness gracious, these cats are on the balcony and Yao is about to push Shadow off the balcony and she's in heat. I know a cat will come and scoop her up real quick. She needs to stay on this balcony. Okay, I'm gonna kind of wrap this up so we can get to my cats, and my daughter needs to go to school. But you know, I'm doing all the things. I'm finding balance, okay? So yes, romantic relationships, setting that new passion that we want. Like, what does a marriage mean to us? What does a relationship mean to us? We can create that for ourselves. So that's what really the energy around the Page of Wands, health. health. So guess what popped up for health, which had me like, okay, Spirit, how is this going to show up in my 33rd year? Death. Y'all, I have, in this 33rd year, I have come to form such a beautiful relationship with death and grief. And I've learned how much beauty, it sounds so horrible, but how much beauty can be involved in death and what can come out on the other side of death. I can just cry just thinking about how beautiful it can be and how it's shown up in my life. Obviously not in the best ways, but how you are able to regain that power back. And if the timing's right, if it's, right on how to shift that death into the light. And there's a card. I did a spread this morning and this card popped up for me. And this card popped up for me for my life's purpose. And the death card. And it came up in reverse. And what I first saw with the death card is you see these people. And this came up to me in a meditation that I did one day. So seeing it here and seeing it now as I'm doing my reading, I'm getting super emotional because I know this is my life's purpose. And I know that this is what I'm going to do and I'm supposed to be doing. And it's definitely hard, but Spirit equipped me with the tools that I needed to do this. So with this death card, you see that there's gook, there's horribleness, toxicity. This poor animal is about to die if somebody doesn't come in and nurture them, if somebody doesn't come in and bring them back up to the light to help show them the phoenix that they are so that they can rise above, right? So Spirit is really telling me that I am kind of these helpers. I'm meant to go into the murky waters. I'm meant to go into the nasty waters to help pull people out of their deepest, darkest death moments. If they've experienced loss, if they've experienced death, one thing that I know that I want to do, I've applied for a doula scholarship. I want to be a doula, but not only do I want to be a postpartum pregnancy doula, but I also want to be a pregnancy loss doula. I've seen so much miscarriages, pregnancy loss, and I really truly feel like it's my sole purpose to help women and mothers through those transitions, to help bring those things that are dark, that are nasty into the light, to help nurture those mothers back into the light, y'all. Whew. It's heavy, but it's something that I know that I have truly been called to do. So when I saw this pop up in health, and death is about endings, change, transition. So the ending of something new, no longer serving me, to open to more possibilities. So around my health is really around letting go of unhealthy attachments that have been holding me down, deading those, cutting those, letting go of all unhealthy attachments. 33rd year, right? Dying at the cost in order so that we can be renewed. And I think that's what it was all about for me. What does it mean to be healthy? Not only healthy physically, healthy mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, health, deading all of those old paradigms and transforming into the new. And one way that I did that is with my finances, and the card that popped up for finances was the Hermit card, which is all about going inside, figuring out. I did a lot of money work, y'all, a lot of money, figuring out my money story, why I think the way that I do, why I don't feel worthy, why I don't want wealth. I did a lot of that this year. And that shows with the energy of the Hermit really going in. My mom is an amazing financial guru. She's amazing. This woman, single mom, started from the bottom. Now she's here. She is the first Black court reporter for the U.S. Senate. She immigrated here from Haiti as a child, worked her way up, has 3 homes, has 2 cars. Like the woman, a single mom, doing the damn thing, okay? So, and when it comes to financial stuff, she laid the foundation. She set the foundation for me to succeed. But I had to learn from myself, right? So it was creating my own money stories, creating my own money narratives, realizing, how these all come into play. So I needed to do that. So the Hermit showing up for me was kind of showing me like, you need to go within, right? Going within. And career, the High Priestess, which is all about tapping into your intuition. So knowing intuitively when, and that's kind of what I did in the Zen wellness space career, is show up intuitively. Going into next year, there may be more of a plan. There may be more of a structure going in. Again, 34, 33 was all about integrating with spirit, into harmony with spirit. 3 is a number associated with 3, but 3 and 4 is all. 4 is about structure, right? Stable foundations. So with that spirit, with these intuitive pulses that come up in my 34th year, I need to start creating structure around that. Planning my editorial calendar, planning my content, all of this. 33 was all good. I kind of blended. I did, as I needed to do. I showed up in my High Priestess form. When I intuitively felt called to come on live or to record a video, I did. But now moving forward, your girl is going to have a little bit of a plan. So, career, High Priestess, tapping into my intuition. And the last card here is travel. The King of Wands, impulsive haste, striving for dreams. And what I wrote here is not ready to step in the role of leadership. Strive for your dreams. There are more to come. So for travel, quantum karma, I could put it here. So travel to me towards the end of my 33rd birthday, the last trip that I made, and I want to say the only real, did we go to Vegas? No, we went to Vegas prior to my 33rd birthday. So I don't think I did any major traveling actually besides Quantum Con while I was 33. So Quantum Con happened only a month ago, earlier this month. But I traveled to LA. I did a solo trip to LA to do holisticism. They had a conference. Holisticism is an spiritual entrepreneurs, ethers, universe. Amazing. The head witch in charge there, Michelle Pelizon, just teaches some beautiful. I've learned so much from them. They've helped me so much along my journey. And so I wanted to treat myself and go and meet them in real life and attend that conference. And it truly was amazing. Check out my Instagram if you want to see kind of like a photo diary of that. But the travel, it's interesting that the King of Wands popped up with travel, because the King of Wands is all about, having a passion, having an idea and really owning it, owning it and putting it out there and producing it into the world. And I feel like Quantum Con was the travel trip, the solo travel trip that I needed to give me that passion that I needed to own what I did. Right now, I've been in that Queen of Cups kind of energy, that High Priestess energy, just tapping into my intuition. But now with the King, I got a plan. I need to implement the plan, use my resources and my tools, use my community, you know, do what I need to do, show up for my community, be that king, own that shit, own my passions, own my inspiration. And that's what I believe the travel trip to Quantum Con did for me. So that was it, y'all. That was my birthday spread. We talked about the energy and broke it down with the aspects of my life, with family, health, with the tarot. So these are just a couple of ways. And you know, tarot is one of my favorite modalities to use to tap into my intuition. But you could also go through a playlist, you know, go through Spotify on your playlist, you know, all your favorite like songs, do a shuffle real quick and ask these questions. Okay, what song pops up for something that I need to let go of last year? What's up? What pops up? You know, you might hear you need to cut it, cut it, cut it. If you hear that song, what you need to cut out your life, that's something that you need to let go of, right? So you don't necessarily have to use tarot. Go outside, see what plants that you see and what flowers that you see. Come back and do the research on those flowers. Okay, I saw a rose, something that I need to let go of. Rose is the energy of the mother, maybe in a relationship with my mother. So it doesn't necessarily have to be tarot. If you're into the Bible, open it up to a verse, you know, use whatever modality works best for you. It does not have to be tarot. Tarot just happens to be one of my favorite ways to do it. If you're interested in the spread, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to create it. I think I'm making a plan, y'all. I'm creating a strategy, so hold me to it. I am going to try to create a nice little Canva PDF image that has this birthday spread, reflection questions, you know, space for affirmations. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know in the comments and I'll create it and I'll make it and I'll email it to you. I'll send it to you or find a way or have a link available so that y'all can find it. But other ways to connect with me is through my Instagram. Every morning on Instagram, I have an inspirational affirmation or quote, something to inspire you for your day. And you can connect with me on my website at zenwellnessspace.com. You can visit my soul love offerings there, and I have a birthday spread specifically around this. So if it's your birthday coming up, you have a special event, you got a new moon, you know, whatever, and you want this kind of energy spread, hit me up in my soul love offerings. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. And the way that I provide that is via a pre-recorded video and a Notion dashboard. So you can take your notes in there. You could do your reflections, save the pictures, all of that. So all of that is available to you. And like I said, 34th year, y'all, I'm creating some structures. Y'all, okay? So I'm going to have some planned content. I'm going to have some flow, hopefully some consistency going into this 34th year. And thanks so much for being with me. If you made it to the end of the video, comment, share if this was helpful for you. And yeah, you know where to reach me, know where to connect with me. If you feel called for this energy exchange, you want to leave a donation, please do so. All proceeds go to help me with my doula training of what I talked about earlier. So all of those are truly appreciated, but never expected. I'm sending so much love your way. Your Zen Wellness Mama showing up 34. Okay? Sending so much love your way. Have a beautiful day whenever you see this.